Alien and Aliens are two of the best sci-fi horror films out there. If you get a chance to watch Alien in 4K, please do. It holds up incredibly well, minus a couple of shots of the full-body suit. And there is no 4K of Aliens, thank you Disney, but there is the Blu-ray, which does look great. Only watch the director's cut version. Don't at me, that's the only way to watch it. However, with video games, the Aliens franchise has not been too lucky. There's been a few bum games out there. However, there are some games that do provide a very good experience within the Aliens universe, and this is what this video is all about, taking a look at some of them and basically trying to decipher which one gives the best experience. Now, going all the way back to Aliens vs Predator in the year 2000, 23 years ago, this game you can play as a Colonial Marine, you can play as a Predator, and you can play as a Xenomorph. However, playing as a Marine, you can get the shit scared out of you, basically, because it utilizes darkness a lot. So if you haven't got a flare or a flashlight or anything, or any night vision goggles, you're screwed, effectively. However, although the game was great back in the day, it doesn't quite provide the scares and the feel that you'd kind of want really now if you're trying to get into it, you know, in terms of those. It looks dated, let's be honest, it does look dated. But then we can zip on a little bit further and go to the Aliens vs Predator remake, which is, I suppose you could call it, is Aliens vs Predator 3, really. Now this game was actually really cool, and again you can play as a Colonial Marine, as a Predator, and as a Xenomorph. And the actual campaign for the Colonial Marine is actually really good. I have to be honest, I quite enjoyed playing through it again more recently. There's a lot of bits, there's quite a bit of jump scares, there's a lot of Xenomorphs to kill, and they climb all over the ceiling and the walls, and they jump around, and the AI can be pretty savage, especially if you have it on a harder difficulty. It does provide the scares and the feel, and there's some really awesome sections as well, so I do give that one credit. Again, Aliens Colonial Marines was a game that wasn't great. It came along. It was not what was promised by Gearbox Studios. I personally believe they pumped their funding that Sega gave them to make Colonial Marines into their Borderlands game, and because they outsourced the multiplayer for Colonial Marines as well, and they just half-assed through it, and you do spend a lot of time fighting human enemies, which is a big no-no, and is also replicated in other Aliens games. You're either fighting synthetics or humans, which we don't really want to do. We want to fight Xenomorphs. However, Aliens Colonial Marines is not terrible, and in my opinion it is worth playing through if you have it, because you can still play it cooperatively with a friend. The multiplayer is dead, but you can still play it cooperatively with a friend. You can unlock weapons from other characters in the films, like Hicks's shotgun, for example. Hudson Vasquez's smart rifle, you know, that says adios on it and all that, so that's pretty awesome. And you can gain levels and unlock things, basically. So there's things to unlock and things to play with that one. Then we can whiz on a bit more and find Aliens Fireteam Elite. This is a game that is a good game, but at the same time can be quite frustrating. When it originally released, there was a lot of bugs and glitches, but when you're fighting the Xenomorphs and stuff, waves of them, it can be pretty awesome. Unfortunately, you do spend a lot of time fighting against the parasites or whatever they're called from Prometheus, and I don't really care for that. And you also wind up fighting synthetics. Again, I don't care for that either. I just want to fight Xenomorphs. That's Aliens. That's all we want. That's all we need. And sometimes people just don't really. I don't know why they keep doing this. Maybe they think we're going to get bored with just fighting aliens. I don't understand that at all in the slightest. Just for the love of God, stop making us fight synthetics and parasite thingies. However, on a side note, and more of a sort of a honorable mention is the DS Aliens game called Infestation, which is like a Metroidvania-esque game. It's pretty cool. You can play as 4 Marines, and when one dies, you take control of another one. It's not overly long. It's about a couple of hours long, maybe less if you know where you're going and what you're doing. But you find your way around. You look for keys to open doors. Again, you fight robots in it more than you fight Xenomorph for the most part. But it has a pretty cool and quite solid boss fight at the end, and it is a pretty cool little DS game. It's quite rare now as well, but you could always emulate it, which I recommend doing. Now, Alien Isolation is the best Alien game. Playing as Amanda Ripley, fearing for your life. Yes, there are some human enemies, but the objective of the Xenomorph is always there. And it can find you, and when it finds you, that's it, instant death. You can obviously get a flamethrower to just deter it, but you would just piss it off. The AI is really good in this game, and of course, towards the second half of the game, there is a lot of those average Joe synthetics that you do fight. Again, it does fall into that trap. But when you only have the one alien, I'm not spoiling anything, so I'm just saying the one alien. You do wind up in a hive at one point. With this alien hunting you, among other things, and let's just say that was terrifying in itself. The game is all about survival, finding crafting elements and whatnot to be able to put together items and weapons to survive, basically get from point A to point B. Not to mention the graphics are absolutely beautiful. But Alien Isolation is my favourite first-person Aliens game, and still a crime that it's not had an official sequel yet. Just please get on it, make it, let's go, come on. It's such a great game. However, I think personally the best Aliens experience is Aliens Dark Descent. I think Aliens Dark Descent is the best Aliens experience because it utilizes everything from Aliens, including the gear, the references, the language, the music, everything that you can do with your squad. Squad members can be captured and taken away, and you can choose to go and free them. They can level up as you progress through missions. The Xenomorphs go hunting for you, and if they see you, they can alert the rest of the hive. There is so much in Aliens Dark Descent. All the different weapons, and you can put down the automated turrets, and there are different... You basically arrive on a map, kind of like Hadley's Hope, for example, from Aliens, and you have all these points, all these mission objectives that you can choose to accomplish in whichever order that you wish. And like the first mission, main mission for me, I did, and at the end I only had 2 Marines left, and one of those Marines was on the shoulder of the other Marine, so to carry him out. Of course, if they die out there, but if they get downed, you have to have a Marine carry him, and then he can only use his sidearm, his handgun, and it can get very intense. You can also call the car to come and collect you from various points, and you can drop yourself off at various points as well. But in all honesty, Aliens Dark Descent is not only just a fantastic strategic game, it is, in my opinion, the best Aliens game out there, and they really do need to be commended for that, and I do hope that a sequel is made. But apart from that, that's pretty much the best of the bunch of the Aliens games. There are, of course, a lot of older ones like on the Sega and Nintendo and all that stuff, for Alien 3, and a lot of stuff on really old consoles in the 80s, but those games are pretty wank. Alien 3 ain't too bad on the Sega Mega Drive, but it's just a action shooter where you're trying to free prisoners. It's not really worth mentioning, I suppose. It doesn't really follow the plot of Alien 3 whatsoever. But please let me know in the comments down below if you have any other suggestions for any Aliens games that I have missed, or if any of these games are your favourites. Please let me know why, or if you hate them all, please let me know why. I'd love to hear everything, and thank you very much for watching.
Cut that door open.
Open up, sesame. Door clear.